through all of COVID-19, through all of the uncertainty of the season, through all of the cancellations, the postponements, the opt-outs, the injuries, through all of it, we are finally at the point that the whole college football season has led up to. Welcome everyone to the Touchdowns to Home Runs National Championship. Yeah, let me say that again. National Championship. We have made it. Pick video. I'm so excited to bring this to you guys. Guys, if you haven't already and you love college football as much as I do, because we talk a ton of college football on this channel, don't be afraid to go hit that sub button down below and that like button right now for me if you're excited for this national championship game. The Alabama Crimson Tide, the Ohio State Buckeyes meeting up in Miami, Florida to go play in what should be a very, very, very exciting national championship game. I cannot wait for this game. Guys, let's get into it. So obviously, you have the Ohio State Buckeyes just going to New Orleans and taking down the number 2 ranked Clemson Tigers in an upset for the ages. Ohio State fans, if you haven't already, definitely go get my 11th of the country shirts right now in the store, in the merch store. Only $15. We've sold a ton already. You guys aren't the 11th best team in the country, but you need to remember that game. 11, Ohio State beating number 2 Clemson. Ohio State, that was an amazing game. Thank you. As you can see behind me, I'm a big Carolina Gamecocks fan, and I hate the Clemson Tigers. I got my Bears jersey on now because we have a massive game coming up against the Green Bay Packers today that will determine if we go to the playoffs or not. Justin Fields, man, can I say enough about him? I went out and I did my post-game reaction video to that Ohio State game. 6 touchdowns after getting absolutely crushed in the ribs and looking like he's injured. He came out for one play and then went back in. He was hurting that game, but he was a warrior, comes back in, lights out from him. I have not had as much fun in watching a football game this season than I did watching Ohio State, and especially the deep ball game. That pass to Jameson Williams and Chris Olave downfield, unbelievable, amazing pass there on both of those plays. Justin Fields was absolutely amazing. Trey Sermon, after Master T goes out, Trey Sermon has been the go-to guy for Ohio State, and you look at what he's done against Northwestern and what he's done against Clemson. Unbelievable running back there you guys have in Trey Sermon. And then the wide receivers, I can't say enough about the wide receiver core for Ohio State. Just guys who will constantly go up and get the ball, make plays. Ohio State, absolutely amazing game against Clemson. Thank you guys very much for that win. I appreciate it. Now, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama's the team that I probably, other than the South Carolina Gamecocks, because obviously I cover every single game they play, but Alabama, I cover a lot of SEC football, and in doing that, I have to watch the main games of each week, the primetime games or whatever, and majority of the time, Alabama is going to be featured in that game. So I've watched this Alabama team a ton. Devonte Smith, the guy I want to go win Heisman, 100%. Best player in all of college football right now, Devonte Smith, especially after that Rose Bowl game. It just looked like he made everything look so easy. Every single ball he caught, every single route he run, every single jump he made. I remember one where he literally climbed a ladder to go up and get a ball that Mac Jones floated up there because one of the Notre Dame defensive linemen hit his arm while he was throwing it. Devonte Smith, man, that guy is a legit baller. Love watching him. Another guy that I love watching, Naji Harris. You obviously saw the hurdle play that he had in the Rose Bowl. One of his best plays, other than the one that he obviously had against South Carolina where he had a stiff arm and a hurdle and everything in between. That was not a fun moment for me. But Naji Harris, man, best running back in all of college football. I've said it over and over and over again. There's no running back in college football I'd rather have than Naji Harris. This guy is the best running back in all of college football. And then you also have the best quarterback right now, stat-wise, in all of college football, Mac Jones. He's thrown 4,036 yards this year, 36 touchdowns for 4 interceptions. Absolutely unbelievable year for him. Stepping into the shoes of Tua Tagovailoa. He's done an absolutely amazing job. This is one of the most fun offenses to watch. If you love offensive football, this is going to be the game for you because there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. The over-under right now, I'm pretty sure it's the highest that a national championship has ever been. The over-under is 75 points right now. 75 points. That puts each team at an average of, what would that be? That would be 32, no, not 32. My math, I don't need to do math right now. No, 37.5. I think that if you cut it in half, 37.5 for each team. Crazy there. The spread right now, they got Alabama at favored by 8 points in this game. It's reasonable. Obviously, Ohio State, you go in there, there's tons and tons and tons of people not giving Ohio State a chance in this game. I went out in my prediction show. I made it clear that I was cheering for Ohio State because I hate Clemson. But I said if I had to put money on it, I would pick the Clemson Tigers in that game. But what I also said was, like, I'm not going to lie here. I did say realistically I'm going to take Clemson, but I did say Ohio State undoubtedly, in my opinion, has the talent to win this game, and it's just how they go out there in that game and play, which is going to determine if they win or not. And Ohio State showed that they had the talent to go out there and beat Clemson, and in my opinion, they definitely have the talent to go out and beat Alabama. It all depends on how they use that talent and how they take away the talent on that Alabama side of the ball. Straight up, I think that Alabama has the slight edge in talent in this game. If you look at quarterbacks are fairly even though they're two completely different play styles, in my opinion. Quarterback play, you're going to have an elite guy taking snaps for both teams no matter what. Running back wise, you're going to have a really good running back. I do give the slight edge to Naji Harris. Again, I said that he is the best running back in all of college football. The receiving core, it's tough because I think that Ohio State may have some more depth. Like, you got Smith and Jigba, you got Chris Olave, obviously, is their go-to guy, Garrett Wilson. They have some real depth on that Ohio State side of the ball. And then for Alabama, you got Devonte Smith, the best wide receiver in all of college football. John Mechie, a freshman who's done really well this year. There's another Alabama's tight end from last game in the Rose Bowl, had an outstanding game for them. Alabama has some talent on that wide receiver core outside of Devonte Smith. Even though that Jalen Waddle's hurt, they got depth and they got guys that they could get the ball to. So the offenses are fairly even. We all know that this is going to be a very high scoring ball game. It's all going to come down to the defense and who's going to be able to make the crucial stops. I said in my Ohio State postgame show after that Clemson game that Ohio State is going to be going up against a bit of a weaker defensive line in this game, but I would take Alabama's secondary over Clemson's secondary any day of the week. So you're going to have, for Justin Fields, you're going to have to make those throws in a lot tighter windows than you would against Clemson. Clemson looked like a chicken with their head cut off some points in that game. They were lost in coverage. They did not know what they were doing. Alabama, in my opinion, with guys like Josh Jobe, you got Patrick Surtain, who's probably the best DB in all of college football, many would argue, and you got Jordan Battle. You got a really good secondary for Alabama. So you're going to have a lot tighter windows if you're Justin Fields. You're going to really have to fit that ball in there because Alabama, the way that they cover the ball is really something special. So Ohio State, you're going to have to use the run game to spread that secondary open because we know Trey Sermon has been amazing. You're going up against a bit of a weaker defensive line. I said that I would take Clemson's defensive line, and you were able to rush against that defensive line really well in that game against Clemson. It's just all going to be how effective are you going to be in the passing game with this really strong and smart Alabama secondary. Now looking at the Ohio State defense, they got some real good pressure in that game against Clemson. Alabama, they're missing Dickerson. I think they're still missing Dickerson in the offensive line, but they still got Leatherwood. They're still one of the best offensive lines in the game currently. Alabama, offensive line, absolutely amazing. So Ohio State, you're going to have to get some pressure on Mac Jones. Mac Jones isn't the most mobile quarterback that you will ever see play the game of football. So you're going to have a chance. You're not going up against a Lamar Jackson or a Justin Fields who, let's say, can scramble and make plays with his feet. Mac Jones can still run, but he's no guy who's going to beat you with his feet 100% of the times. You're going to have to get to the quarterback. You're going to have to get to past that offensive line. And one thing that I will make key, you have to make tackles in this game. Ohio State's defense absolutely has to make tackles. You look at the Florida game, I didn't think that Florida played a bad defensive game in terms of getting to the football. They just cannot get Naji Harris or Devonte Smith or whoever it was on the ground. These guys are really good at slipping tackles. Like, that's why they call Devonte Smith the Slim Reaper, because he just always finds a way to get out of tackles. Naji Harris, he's going to jump over you. He's going to stiff arm you. He's going to do whatever. Ohio State, if you want to win this game, you got to get Alabama on the ground on first or second contact at least. If it takes you 3 guys to make contact with an Alabama player to get him down, this game's done. This game's done. Alabama's going to win outright. No question about it. They're going to cover the spread. You got to really swarm to that ball, and you got to get the guy down when you have the chance. You cannot let him get past you, or else that's where you start to see 3-yard gains get turned into 10, 15, 20-plus yard gains, and it's just a nightmare after that when Alabama really starts to get rolling on offense. So my key for Alabama, make Justin Fields make really, really tight throws. We saw what happened in that Northwestern game when he went up against a really good Northwestern defense. He made some mental errors, threw some picks. And my key for Ohio State, get Alabama on the ground. Make your tackles, make your hits. Get him down. Get whoever it is down on first or second contact. Who am I going to take in this game? A thing that I've really liked to do the last couple pick videos or whatever, I've really liked to look at the ESPN matchup predictor. Right now, they have Alabama at a 62.5% chance to win and a 37.5% chance to win for Ohio State. I actually really like these percentages. I think it is very, very respectable for Ohio State. It's better than what it would have been if, let's say, Alabama was to take on Ohio State in the semis and Ohio State wouldn't have that win over Clemson. I think that this is spot on. Obviously, I think I'm going with my pick here, even though I said Ohio State undoubtedly, in my opinion, has the chance to go and win this game. They have the talent to go win this game. Alabama is the hottest team in all of college football right now. Alabama is the best team offensively in all of college football, and they have a stronger defense, in my opinion, than Ohio State does. So in this game, it's really, really tough because I do like the Ohio State Buckeyes, but I also like Alabama. I'm taking the Alabama Crimson Tide in this game. This team is the best team in college football for a reason. I say this every video. They have that one next to their name for a reason. But Ohio State, man, I'm looking for them to go up there and put a good, really, really good fight up and maybe come out with another win and make all the haters shut up once again about Ohio State and the people that say they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Davo. So I'm taking Alabama in this game. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I appreciate it. Definitely like down below. Hit the subscribe button. Comment anything about this game. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you for watching and come back next time.